Hey my divas and gents, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel, the one and only diva in the apron. This is girl Kayla. So guys, I'm back with another bomb recipe. Today I am making chicken pot pie, and who does not like chicken pot pie? I mean, it was one of my childhood favorite meals. During the week, my mom may have time to cook. She will pop that thing in the oven, and before you know it, it's done, and we are happy and full. And to this day, as an adult, it's still one of my favorite meals. It's so hearty, it's so warm to the stomach, and you have everything. You have your meat, you have your vegetables, you have your crust. It's so flaky and good. It's bomb, y'all. So make sure you guys subscribe to my channel before I move forward. You better subscribe to my channel. Y'all better subscribe. And if you already have subscribed, thanks for subscribing, guys. And to my old subscribers, what's up, y'all? Y'all know how it go. So guys, turn on your post notification bell as well, so that way you don't be lost in the sauce. I know I keep telling y'all that, but you don't want to miss out. So turn that post notification bell on, guys, and we are about to start cooking. So let's jump into the recipe. All right, divas and gents. So I'm starting off with my meat, and I'm using a rotisserie chicken that I purchased from Publix. And I just stuck with the original flavor, guys, because I don't want like no lemon pepper or nothing else, so that way it does not clash with my other flavors. And if you don't want to buy a rotisserie chicken, you can also buy a whole chicken. Be my guest, cook that and shred it up, or you can also use chicken breast. But Diva's going the rotisserie way, okay? And y'all, here go my pie crust again. I told y'all. So you will need 1 pack of the Pillsbury Pie Crust. Got it upside down, my bad, y'all. Okay, so 1 pack of the Pillsbury Pie Crust, and you will be using 1 pack of the puff pastries, okay? So 1 of each. You will also need about 2 garlic cloves, 1 egg, okay? Y'all know how 1 egg look. I have 1 potato as well. I love potatoes in my chicken pot pie. It just adds more to it. 1 onion, 1 stick of butter, okay? And you will need some heavy whipping cream, my favorite. It seems like everything nowadays requires heavy whipping cream. And some chicken broth. I have my frozen veggies, some carrots, and some frozen peas. I don't know what it is about the crinkled carrots. I just love them, guys. Am I the only one? I don't know. I just love the crinkled carrots. You will also need some celery. You won't be using all that, guys, but you will need a little bit. Some flour. You will be using that flour to thicken if necessary. And for the seasonings, guys, pretty simple. Just some good old salt and pepper. Salt and some black pepper. Pretty simple, right? All right, y'all, I'm hungry as usual, so we're about to head over to no, not the stove yet. We're about to prep. So let's prep, then we're gonna head over. Look at Diva, look at me, I'm getting ahead of myself, guys. I told y'all I'm hungry. All right, guys. So I'm starting off with my chicken, and I just like to go ahead and get that shredded up first, guys. I like to take my knife and just cut it down the middle. That way I can open it up and start removing the chicken from the bone. I just take big chunks, y'all, and just throw it in there. And I also remove the skin as I go. So I pretty much used all the chicken, and I have about 2 cups here. Now I'm just going to shred my chicken up into nice bite-sized pieces. Not too thin, because as the chicken pot pie cooks, some of the chicken will break apart and you don't want it to be too thin. So this is how it looks, guys. And that's it for the chicken. So I have a medium potato that I'm going to cut up into small bite-sized pieces. I don't like my potatoes real chunky and big in my pot pie. I like them nice and small. And the smaller you cut them up, the quicker they will cook. So you don't have to worry about them not being done when your chicken pot pie is finished baking. And this will equal up to about 1 cup of potatoes. So 1 cup is good enough for me. Next up is the celery, and I will only be using about 1.5 through 2 ribs of celery from the whole stalk. You don't really need that much celery because celery goes a long way, and I'm also cutting them up into very thin slices. So I probably will be using about 2/3 cup of celery. And of course, I will be adding my onion in, which I will be dicing up into very small pieces. And this onion really tore my eyes up this time, y'all. It was so strong. Ooh. All right, so I took about 2 tablespoons of butter, y'all, and I'm just sauteing my onion, my frozen carrots, and my celery. And I'm just gonna saute this for about a minute or two, just until they soften up a little bit. So now I'm adding in about 1/4 cup of flour, and this will thicken my sauce, guys, once the pot pie is ready. So I'm just gonna mix this around a little bit just to cook out that, that raw flour taste, because we don't want that. And once I cook this out, y'all, we're gonna be good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and just, mix this up for probably about a minute or two. Okay, so now I'm going to slowly pour in my chicken broth, and I'm just pouring in half, and then I'm gonna pour in the other half. So I'm stirring this up, y'all, and as you can see, this chicken broth is already starting to thicken up. Like, that flour don't be playing no games, y'all. It's already starting to thicken. Now I'm pouring in the rest of the chicken broth. So that's all the chicken broth. Now I'm going to mix that up really good. So at this time, you want to turn your stove up to a medium-high heat. That way you can bring everything to a boil and it can start to cook. Now I'm adding in my heavy whipping cream. I love heavy whipping cream, y'all. I just love it. It adds that creamy, rich taste to it. So I'm going to stir that up. And don't worry about the little pieces of flour you see that's caked up on the vegetables, guys. Once your pot starts to boil, that will all go away. You won't even see that. Now I'm adding in my potatoes, and I like to add them in at this point. That way they can start to cook and soften up. And once you put it in the oven, you don't have to worry about baking it that long, because your potatoes will pretty much be done. Now I'm gonna give it a little taste, y'all. I'm adding in some garlic powder, just a little bit. Well, I love garlic, so I'm also adding in some thyme. Now, the thyme goes a long way, so you don't need a lot of that. I'm adding in some parsley, which is optional. And I'm also adding in about 1/3 cup of Parmesan cheese. Now, I love this Parmesan cheese, y'all. You don't want to add in too much now. We're not trying to make an Alfredo sauce here, but just a little hint of it gives it a very nice taste, but not too much though. So I'm going to stir this in, guys. I'm just stirring it up, and now, as you can see, it's starting to thicken. So I'm adding in my shredded chicken, y'all. And as I stated earlier, you can always buy a whole chicken and cook it yourself, or you can use chicken breast and shred it up. It will be just as good. Or if you're not a fan of chicken, you can use turkey. Now, I never tried a turkey pot pie, but it should be good. So guys, I'm adding in my sweet peas, because you have to have those sweet peas in there. They add a nice sweet flavor along with the carrots. It just tastes good, and they both just go really well together. Now I'm adding in some fresh black cracked pepper. You have to have your fresh black pepper. Nothing like it. I'm also adding in some salt. And remember, guys, the salt and the pepper is to your liking, so you can add in as much as you want or as little as you want. It's to your liking, your taste buds. Not my taste buds, your taste buds. So I'm going to mix that in really well. And now I'm going to taste it, because I taste everything. Y'all know that. And it tastes bomb to me, guys. It's perfect. I don't think it needs any salt. At this point, if you need to add anything to your chicken pot pie, any more salt, pepper, go ahead and do it now. Or if your sauce is too thin or too thick, you can go ahead and add a little bit of cornstarch. Don't add flour. Mix cornstarch with water and it will thicken it. And if you need to thin it out, just add a little bit of heavy whipping cream or some chicken broth. So now we are about to play in some dough, y'all. So I'm going to literally probably roll this out one time, because I don't want my pie crust to be thin. I like it to be a little thick. So that is perfect. So I'm going to fold it, and I'm going to take my baking dish and just place it right in the center. That way, once I open it up, it's pretty much even, and I don't have to do that much playing around and sliding the dough all over the place. See how that worked out, y'all? Nice and easy. So you just want to make sure that your pie crust is flat at the bottom of your dish.
And as you can see, I'm just going around the edges and pulling the dough up. You don't want to force it though, guys. If you have some pieces that's too short or if it looks like it's about to rip, don't worry, because I'm going to patch it at the end with the extra dough that you have. And you don't want your crust hanging over the edge too much. You just want it like right to the edge how I have it. So as you guys can see, it's super easy. I'm just make sure I'm pressing it down, and any extra dough that's hanging off the side, as you can see, just boom, take it off and just put it where you need it to go, guys. Don't be scared of this dough, y'all. It's gonna do what you make it do, okay? You have the power to make it do what it do. So I'm just, taking any dough I see hanging off the edges and just patching it wherever I think it needs to go. If it's an empty space or if it's too thin. Very easy, y'all. Look at that. Perfect. Boom. So I removed the filling from the stove so it cooled down just a little bit, which is perfect. Now I'm just adding it to the pie dish, and I'm gonna get it all up in there, guys. It just looks so yummy. I cannot wait to taste it. So I'm just pressing it down in there, y'all. Like I said, I'm getting it all in there, and I'm just flattening it out with the back of my spoon, which is perfect, guys. And that's perfect. So now we're going to do the top layer, and I'm using the puff pastry sheets. Now I'm using both sheets that came in the pack, being that one is not big enough, so I just placed them side by side. I overlapped them a little bit, and I took my finger just to make everything meet and just to flatten it out. Now I'm taking my rolling pin, guys, and I'm just going to roll it out just a little bit, just so everything can become one. And I recommend that you keep your puff pastry sheets in the refrigerator until it's time to use it, because it can get a little aggravating to work with once it gets sticky. So you might have to add a little bit of flour like I did. Now I found a plate that was perfect, and it was the same size as my baking dish and my pot pie. So I will be using this as like my little measuring tool. So I took the extra pieces of puff pastry that was on the side, and you guys watch, look what I'm about to do. It's very easy. So I placed that at the bottom, and look, boom. I'm just taking my finger, I'm going to press that in, and that is about to become one as well. I'm going to take my rolling pin, roll it out to until it's nice and smooth. You might have to add a little bit of water if it's not sticking, and boom, guys, that extra space that I needed, I now have it. Boom. So you want to take a knife and just go around the perimeter of the plate and just remove the excess. But, don't throw it away, guys. You can keep it just in case you need it. Just ball it up just like that. Bam. I have my top layer, y'all. So you want to flour your rolling pin a little bit, and this is the easiest way for me to do it. Just take your rolling pin and roll your top layer up in it, and then you want to take your pie dish and take your rolling pin, place it right over to the edge, and roll it right on out. Look how easy that was, y'all. Now you're just going to go around your pie crust and just make sure you just combine the top layer with the bottom, guys. Make sure you get it good. You want to fold it in together. So I'm going to take that one egg and beat it really well, and I will be using this egg wash to brush the top of my chicken pot pie. So you just want to brush it really good, get into all the little creases and crevices, and don't forget around the sides of the pie. Very important, guys. So make sure your oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and I'm just making about 4 little slits at the top of my pie so my pie can breathe, y'all. Very important. Don't forget that part. Now while you're baking it, you might have to open them up if they close, but that's fine. That's how your pie should look, and boom, look at that transformation, guys. This looks delicious. The crust is nice and golden brown. It's flaky. It came out perfect, guys. It looks so delicious. And check out the filling.
Super geeked about this, guys, because I've been craving chicken pot pie for a few weeks now, and I'm just so excited that I finally get to taste this. I've been craving this, y'all. All right, here we go, y'all. Y'all know what I'm about to say. This is bomb. Oh man. KFC, oh. This came out delicious, guys. It's so hearty and filling, and I just love the sweetness that the peas and the carrots add to it. And the rotisserie chicken, it's nice and tender. Every bite you taste like a little chunks here and there. And that crust, guys, is so buttery and flaky and soft. It's, oh gosh, it's bomb, guys. It tastes delicious. It tastes so homemade. This is definitely everything that I've been craving for. It's everything. My taste buds are satisfied, y'all. They are satisfied. Delicious. Well, it's a wrap on the set, y'all. This chicken pot pie is calling my name, so I am about to enjoy my dinner. And if it's not too late, I might have seconds later on because it's bomb, y'all. It's too good, okay? So y'all know what to do though. Make sure you guys turn on your post notification bell, and I will see y'all back later with another bomb recipe. Later, y'all.